What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Check Down Podcast. Izzy, you got your booger. Thank you for cleaning that up. I'm Shirtless Pat. We have all the guests, all the podcasters today. We got Cody, Greg, and Izzy, who was supposed to egg himself and has decided he's not gonna. So,
Oh, come on.
really disappointed. We're gonna have to go back. We're gonna have to watch the tape, make sure that the deal was verified and agreed on.
I said I'd do it at the Pro
And
Bowl.
he'll do it in the Pro Bowl or Super Bowl week. So,
All right.
other than that, season ended. A lot of fun games, a lot of shit going on, a lot of controversy. So let's just dive right into that. Let's just get there. I want everyone's opinions on the number one seed. Did the NFL get it right? Should the Chiefs have it? Did the Chiefs not earn it? Do we think the Bills should have it? Greg, you're the homer. Give it to me. What do you think?
I'm just glad I don't have to hear about it anymore. Like, my God, they made like such an ordeal about it. Honestly, my thing I proposed was you put 10 numbers in a hat, give the Bills 1 through 4 and the Bengals 5 through 10 or whatever, and then draw one of the numbers. That team gets it, they win the game. Like, enough is enough. Or play the game, but they obviously weren't going to play the game. So I'm just tired of hearing all the bitching, whining, and complaining. That's my best solution.
Okay. Izzy, you've been very, very passionate about this take over the last week on the phone. So you haven't been here for a while. You have the floor. Whatever you want to say, just let it all loose.
I'm just going to say what we all need to know is that the NFL needs another superstar to lead the league. They keep trying with Mahomes. He just keeps choking when it matters. And the neutral site advantage benefits the Chiefs over any of the other two teams. The Bengals and the Bills play better in colder outdoor weather than Kansas City. And having Mahomes have to go on the road is inconvenience for them. So Kansas City's going to be able to use their speed better indoors, and the NFL probably wants a neutral site because they can just put it in LA.
Just put that out there. I was at the championship game when it was like considered negative 10 degrees, and the Chiefs did just fine in that game. And they went against Derrick Henry too, which that was supposed to, immensely benefit him.
Yeah, Ryan Tannehill's a really dangerous quarterback. But he has a job.
I mean, the Chiefs almost lost to Malik Willis and the Titans, and Malik Willis throwing for 55 yards this year. Ain't that great of a team.
I'm just saying that I don't think the team should be a 1 seed if they lost to the other two teams, and the Bills are being punished because their guy died. Just saying.
He's out of the hospital. That's good.
I mean, he's alive, so they should play the game.
He died on the field, and they're being punished. That's what.
Wait, this wouldn't be a problem if they didn't add that stupid 7th seed into the NFL. Because you have this garbage 7th team coming in. Like last year, you had Big Ben and the Steelers. Like, that was a joke. This year, we're going to have Wilkins and Skylar Thompson. Like, it's an absolute joke adding that last seed, in my opinion.
Well, I agree with that. We can remove the 7th seed. But I'm just saying, so what happens if Josh Allen goes out there and blows his ACL rather than Mahomes blowing his ACL?
Cody, do you have any thoughts on this? It's excited to see them go back at it again.
Yeah, I'm Izzy's back, and Izzy and Greg, we're talking big game behind the phone, so I'm just here to watch.
He agrees. Derpy says he agrees.
Derpy, that's what it comes down to. And I'm a Patriots fan who hates Buffalo, who did not want to lose to Buffalo, who wanted to see all those fans be miserable this last Sunday. But
I think Cincinnati got more screwed than Buffalo because Cincinnati was probably going to win that game based off of everything that was going on so far. And then they had to do like the coin flip or something with the Ravens, if the Ravens would have beat them.
No, it was Buffalo's 1 seed. This is their Super Bowl year. This is their time to lose their 5th Super Bowl.
Okay, so they don't have the 1 seed, but if they do play Kansas City, it'll be at a neutral site.
Which is retarded.
Do we think the emotion that's going to be carried over with the DeMar Hamlin case, with the whole situation, is going to be enough emotional impact to carry them all the way? Cody.
I mean, you'd like to think so, but it's hard to say. The AFC, the Chiefs are good, the Bengals are good. It's going to be hard just to ride that emotion all the way to the Super Bowl and to win it. I mean, I don't know. I don't think emotion's enough to get you through.
Who wouldn't enjoy parody?
I mean, personally, I think so. If I had to put my 2 cents in, and I know I was on the show last week.
See what happens when the team falls, the rest of the peasants squander. You have a bunch of average teams at best trying to fight now.
Are you talking about this comment?
Yeah.
Funny thing, most of the NFL is enjoying the Brady-less era in New England. Chiefs are overrated. I mean,
Find out in the playoffs.
number 1 seed.
They'll be in LA battling the Bills in the AFC Championship game.
Is it going to be in LA?
I don't know where it's going to be. They were talking about like neutral sites. I guess one is like Atlanta. They're saying the Superdome could be or not.
I heard Atlanta, Indianapolis. They talked about Detroit. They wanted it to be in a dome instead of.
I think Indy said no.
Indy said no.
Yeah, Indy said no. They have a women's volleyball tournament that week.
Priorities.
I shit you not.
I'm glad
at least the receiver.
The restaurants will be packed. They couldn't handle it.
So this actually brings up a good point. At least their receiver core is overrated. I'm going to transition this. I have a question for you guys. We'll start with Greg. Greg, do you think Mahomes and Tyreek Hill were actually a bad match for each other?
I don't think they were a bad match. Like, I don't know. They're both doing fine without each other now, which is good.
They're doing better without each other.
Yeah, I guess.
It's Mahomes' best season and Tyreek Hill's best season.
Yeah, I mean, Tyreek Hill did a lot with his yards after catch, which helps. Tua can get him the ball pretty easily. He just does a lot with it. I don't know. I think he benefited more with Mahomes with the deep ball, but
all right, Tua. That was a good moment.
All right. Izzy, are you still on the Tua MVP if he didn't get hurt train, or have you finally come to realize that probably wasn't a fair take?
Well, they were 8-3 until he got his brain knocked out, and he was on pace for probably about 30 to 40 touchdowns and probably 12 picks. It's pretty damn good.
In the words of Chris Izzy, woulda, shoulda, coulda, but he didn't. So, there we go. Derpy says, I mean, Tyreek was better number 1 with the Chiefs.
This is the easiest show I've ever done.
I'm getting there, Greg or Cody. It's coming for you.
Nah, I mean, it's by all means.
The number 1 with the Chiefs. I mean, he was a better number 1 receiver for the Chiefs than they have now. But
maybe I'm in a good mood because Robert Kraft told Bill Belichick he's fucking firing the whole offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's like
so maybe I'm in a good mood.
All right, Cody, what's happening with Aaron Rodgers and the team this offseason?
What do I think's happening or what do I hope's happening? Because what I hope's happening is the same thing I've been hoping for 3 years, that they just get rid of the sucker. What do I think's going to happen? I don't know. It's probably another offseason of Aaron Rodgers holding the entire organization hostage until he gets what he wants, whether that be more money, which he's already going to make $50 million next year, or he gets traded, which I'm hoping it's the latter of the two.
Let's see. Derpy says, also Chiefs only got the number 1 seed because of a soft bullshit that happened against the Bengals and Bills. I don't know who Derpy
is. Your burner?
I don't know who Derpy 501st is, but it's got to be Lizzie's burner.
That would be funny if he was just like trolling and tweeting a different thing. It probably is.
He probably is. We got to, Izzy, put your phone away. I don't want you to see it. Oh, shit.
Oh, that's funny as shit.
I heard a couple rumors. A lot of Titan fans want the Titans to go out and get Aaron Rodgers. I will tell you right now, there's 2 things. If that happens in this offseason, I won't watch the Titans ever again. 1, if they don't pay Big Jeff. 2, if they sign Aaron Rodgers. I'll be done.
Oh, bro, you buy a fucking Titans jersey. Shut up.
What's that?
You'll buy a Rodgers Titans jersey.
Dude, I've been probably one of the, next to Izzy, probably the biggest Aaron Rodgers hater over the last.
I just got to say I'm on the right side of history. Hated on Peyton Manning, was proved right in the end. Hated on Aaron Rodgers, was proved right in the end.
Peyton Manning might be one of the best quarterbacks of all time. How are you? What?
No, when they comparing them to Brady. Right side of history.
That's fair. Brady's the best QB of all time. All right, Cody.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of easy to win those arguments when you're arguing for Brady.
Well, back at the time, he only had 2 rings. And if you remember, Pat would remember because people would always say, "Well, blah 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 blah." Peyton Manning's so much better. Peyton Manning had Belichick. If Rodgers had Belichick, you know what the difference is? Tom Brady went with Belichick. The other 2, they wouldn't have made it with Belichick. They would have cried in their little huddle sessions.
Bring it up, Derpy.
Roger should retire
Okay.
because he's had the most overrated
This is
career.
definitely
It's
Izzy.
got to be Izzy.
My hands are right here.
There's no way that is not him.
Come on, he
Hey,
sold
I
himself
mean,
down the river.
I'll
Like,
be honest. I can't say I disagree with this one.
Oh, he's 100% overrated, man. That's insane.
Hence the name today.
Cody didn't think that for a long time.
He did not.
Look, I thought he was a great
people on this
quarterback,
podcast said efficiency matters.
Yeah.
Look, efficiency
We were
does.
talking MVP last year, and you said
that's
efficiency matters.
That's a good talk. That's a good talk. Who's MVP?
I mean, out of the blue, it's going to be Mahomes if you're asking me. But if you ask me midway through the season, it was Tua. One of the reasons being he was more efficient at the time.
Maybe Jalen Hurts is more efficient than Mahomes.
I would have to look up the numbers. It's very possible. I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head.
Maybe
Next time Izzy's hands disappears, I bet Derpy shows back up in her comments. So, Greg, give me your Greg. You're probably going Mahomes, but do you have a different take for MVP?
well, I mean, we've all said this before. It's basically a quarterback award, and no other position player is ever going to win it unless they do something like astronomically sensational. I think Justin Jefferson had a great season. Tyreek Hill had a great season. They should be in the mix. If they didn't like fizzle so hard in the last couple of weeks, I think they would have been a lot closer. But I mean,
they fizzled.
Mahomes stayed on the path like pretty much the whole time, and I don't know. It's pretty much his to lose right now.
Yeah, they fizzled out hard.
Izzy, do you have a different take, or do you think it's Mahomes as well?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no. I think Mahomes won it. I mean, I think everybody that Hurts got hurt, Tua got hurt, and Greg brought up the other two. They fizzled out so hard. Like Justin Jefferson and Tyreek Hill kind of went ghost the end of the season.
What about Austin Eckler? He had a huge year as a running back / receiver. Could he make an argument if it wasn't a quarterback award?
No, Chargers suck dick.
I mean, playoffs. They're like 10. They're 10-6 or 11-6. They're not terrible.
No, Eckler's not going to. If McCaffrey didn't win it that one year, he won 1,000 and 1,000. I don't think Eckler's going to get it.
I mean, Rodgers doesn't win Super Bowl 45 without Rashad Mendenhall fumbling. That is okay. Yeah, definitely is he. Okay.
All right,
All right,
I
guys.
agree with that one.
Okay, so I got a would you rather question that came up in another podcast I was listening. I think this is actually a really good conversation.
Pro Bowl week, I'll do the egg.
1 week.
Pro Bowl week.
Pro Bowl week, Rob. He's going to do the egg. We thought it was going to be today, but it got pushed back. And probably Pro Bowl week, it'll get pushed back to Super Bowl week. And that'll get pushed back to the beginning of next season to get listeners. And
Izzy's going to get called in the work Pro Bowl week, and he'll be able to do the show.
By the way, Price Picks fucked me over on a season-long bet.
on which one?
I took Jalen Hurts on over touchdown passes, and I took it was paired with I forget who on less yards, and they just refunded the ticket rather than giving me like $30 in winnings.
No, you're not, Rob. Just leave it on there. It's going to happen.
I would.
All right. So here's my would you rather question. And this is a very serious question, even though some of my other ones have been fun. Would you rather be the next head coach of the Colts or the Broncos? So take a minute to think about it, because you're looking at I'll give you some overview and then you guys can answer. So you're looking at the Colts. You have to work with Jim Irsay. You're also working with potentially a rookie QB or another one of these veteran QBs that are probably not going to amount to much. Or you go to the Broncos where you have a good defense, a solid line, a new ownership who's probably going to spend money, but you have to ride with Russell Wilson because you're not getting rid of him. He's too much cap, and you got him for the next 3 years at least.
Country. That's right.
So those are that. Who would like to go first? This is very interesting to me because I think neither of these jobs are that appealing, but at the same time, both have decent enough rosters that with the right coaching staff could probably do well. So who wants to tackle it?
I'll go.
All right.
I'm going with the Colts. Easier division. Texans always suck. Historically run bad. Jaguars are a disaster waiting to happen. Titans are going down Titans are about to go downwards. So take over as the Colts. You got a good defense, good running game. Trade some picks. See, look at my burner.
Rob said he'd rather get hit with a Ford Bronco than coach the Broncos, so he'd rather.
I mean, could you? I mean, I wouldn't want to. I mean, the other thing is too is if you take over the Colts, you're not tied up in a big quarterback contract. So that's why.
Okay.
There's a lot of options you could do, and I think the division's not as hard to fight to make the playoffs and keep a job. You know what I mean? I mean, Jeff Saturday got hired, so I'm pretty sure he keep your job a little longer. You won some games.
Okay. Anybody have a different take or same take but with better or different logic?
No, I'm going Colts too. Easier path to playoffs. You have just not as good a defense, but your defense isn't that far behind. You still have a good offensive line. Patchy offensive line they could easily fix up. I mean, the Colts are a quarterback away from being a really good team, in my opinion, and a head coach now. But if they find the right head coach and they go draft, hit on the draft with the quarterback. I mean, that team, it's a good team.
Well, there is Izzy's Super Bowl pick. They didn't even make the playoffs. Just throwing it out there.
The Vikings.
I thought they were going to win that division too, so I can't back them.
Derpy, if this is an Izzy, which I still can't tell, I'm 98% sure that it is, but it also might not be. He said the missing link for the Colts has always been a QB because Luck was injury prone every year. That's fair. Luck was hurt a lot, played very tough. Colts are probably more than a quarterback away.
Well, I think that was when Luck was in Indianapolis. They had the worst offensive line for 6 years running. So
yeah, they were terrible.
And then he retired. Luck retired, and then they were like, "Oh, yeah, we should probably fix that offensive line."
But they also got to go an entire decade without losing to the Titans. So they beat the Titans 20 straight games. So they had the benefit of the doubt with a terrible line, but they still at least won 2 games every year. Greg, what are you thinking? You're AFC West. You watch the Broncos at least twice a year. Are you going Colts, Broncos?
I mean, as you guys already stated, it's just the easiest path to the playoffs. The Colts division is garbage right now. The best team is Jacksonville, and they're not even that good. You don't have to go against the West with all those playoff teams. Well, actually 2 playoff teams, but then you get the draft a quarterback. The Colts have the 5th overall pick in the draft right now. They could move up to get C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young if they really want to do, and then just have some fun with it.
Okay. So I'm kind of actually interested you guys all went Colts. I'm going Broncos. And I'm going Broncos for the simple reason that
because it wasn't Russell Wilson's fault.
The new ownership that took over for one game returfed the field. They don't care about spending money. We always talk about the salary cap isn't real. And the reason it's not real is because if you can afford to pay guaranteed money and bonuses, you can pay someone $50 million a year, but it's $10 million salary cap hit. Where does that money come from? It comes from the owner's pockets. It doesn't come from the franchise. These guys have money. They can give everybody guaranteed money, bring in everybody that they want, pay everybody that they want, and they're going to want to win. So that's the ownership that I want. Because let's look at the Colts. You got Jim Irsay who's out here not doing anything that the coaching staff wants. I mean, you have another terrible franchise like the Texans who fire their coach every year. I'm going Broncos. I like the ownership going forward. I don't think Russell Wilson is that bad, and I think the team has enough talent on defense. Javonte Williams is coming back. The line is good. They have Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton. You can make a run with that team very easily.
Russell Wilson's trash.
Then why didn't they?
Because Nathaniel Hackett was the worst coach possibly ever.
Is it the players or is it the coaches? You're telling me that the Broncos were so uncoached they couldn't function as an offense with that much weapons.
Yes. Look at the Tennessee Titans. They were averaging 33 points a game before Downing took over. Downing took over, they averaged 17.
Or Malik Willis is trash.
It has nothing to do with Malik because it was last year too. And then Derek Carr threw for 4,500 yards. And then that's what?
5 steps from a Walker because they loaded
4,500 yards. And then Todd Downing took over as OC, and then everyone talked about him being released. Coaching really factors in the NFL. It's not like high school where you can have one or two studs and you can run the game.
Yeah, it does.
Everybody's on the same playing field. Your coaching staff matters. And if they're bad at everything, your team's going to be bad. That's it. What else we got here? I do think the Colts should bring back Dorsett, considering what happened with the Browns, at least until they get that franchise QB.
I'm assuming
Why did he walk away?
He's laughing. I guarantee he's laughing his ass off right now.
Plus, they didn't have the weapons they do now when he was there and weren't established yet, too.
Really good brownies at Sam's Club. That's all. I don't want it.
Rob says, Pat, think about having to do all those high knees with Russ on all those flights. That's exhausting. You know what? If Javonte Williams was doing high knees on his plane rides, he might not have tore his ACL. You know who's durable? Russ Wilson is. Russ Wilson is durable. He's the quarterback. It's fine. That's a better franchise. Another would you rather question. This one just came to me. Would you rather have Urban Meyer as your head coach if you were a GM or John Gruden?
Wait, who was the last guy?
I mean, I'll take Gruden. I mean, he had a little bit better of a career, so.
You didn't say what level, so college or Meyer.
We're going NFL. This is an NFL podcast.
You said John Gruden?
Yeah.
I'd probably go John Gruden. I don't know.
After all his racist emails and everything else, drafting a team that was all criminals, and then Henry Ruggs is in jail.
And dead.
And all Urban Meyer did was get a little puss on the side at a bar.
Yeah, but I mean, Urban Meyer was a terrible coach.
Yeah, Gruden was a decent one at least.
Gruden, like, yeah. Like all extracurriculars and all that aside, Gruden was just the better coach.
No, I'm going Urban Meyer.
Make Gruden go to rehabilitation courses about racism.
Yeah,
and
I'll send Gruden through some sensitivity trainings. And
no, Urban Meyer, man, because then I can fire him after I get the one pick.
Easy. Gruden, Goodell's anti-football. Yeah, Gruden said all those mean emails about Goodell as well. Is that cat mean pussy? You think Goodell's a pussy?
Yes, that's what it's inferring.
Okay.
Goodell's an honest man.
All right. What else we got on the agenda for today? Izzy decided not to egg himself. Playoff predictions, something that we probably should have started with 23 minutes ago, but I got sidetracked. So did anyone
I have one. Can I do one quick?
Yeah.
What quarterback would you rather have for your future, Brock Purdy or Kenny Pickett?
Brock Purdy.
Kenny Pickett.
No question about it.
How old is Brock Purdy?
20, I don't know, 22.
He's Mr. Irrelevant.
He was drafted this year?
He's relevant now, Pat, and he's better than Kenny Pickett.
No, he's not.
Ooh, I got a question. Would Kenny Pickett have?
He's not better than Kenny Pickett. He played 5 games and has more touchdown passes.
All you do is look at statistics. You only look at box scores.
Okay,
Cody.
he's 5-0.
You're so analytical. You just look at the box score. You're not watching the game.
He's 5-0. He turned the ball over, I think, twice.
You know, Kenny Pickett would also be 5-0.
Kenny Pickett had 9 interceptions.
You put Pickett in that Niners offense. Oh man, he's gonna be thriving.
Okay, that's such. I hate that argument when we say let's put him in that offense because that's all hypothetical. Kenny Pickett could suck in San Francisco.
Yeah, because it's all about coaching and tactics. You can't just put a quarterback in an offense. That's not how the NFL works, guys.
I just said coaching
Don't
was
you
very
listen to
important.
the podcast? Don't you listen to the podcast?
Bro, it's Brock Purdy and it's not even close.
Look at you, Aaron Rodgers, Packers fan. No. It's not Brock Purdy, okay? That offense is literally built to win with a mediocre quarterback. Like, the whole team is built to win with a mediocre quarterback.
Hey,
that's
Jimmy
not how the
G's
Steelers are built.
I'm pretty sure never mind. We're recording a live episode.
I don't know, man. Last I checked, Trey Lance and Jimmy G weren't 5-0 and 6-0 and only turned the ball over twice and that's just me, man. I don't watch the games, though. I don't know.
Yeah, but Kyle Shanahan's not calling the same offense. Like, Brandon Ayuk's not getting not the same amount of targets. Kittle's getting more, and Deva's getting more. So, like, he's not running the same plays.
It's not Brock Purdy's fault.
But if he was calling the same plays, he probably would have more interceptions. That's my point. He knows that he can't do the same things that Jimmy G can do.
How do we know that?
Because his coach isn't calling the plays.
But we don't know that. Like, if he was calling the same
was
plays,
never
we
a
don't
top
know
three
that.
quarterback in his life. Get the fuck out.
We literally don't know that unless we were to see it.
Pro Football Focus had Kenny as a top 3 quarterback.
He's at,
That's
Getting better
fantastic.
every week.
But Andy Dalton had a better QBR this season than him.
do you know Zach Wilson threw as many touchdown passes and less interceptions than Kenny fucking Pickett did. With less weapons, so I don't want to hear he sucks dick. He threw 2,000 yards.
I'm pretty sure Baker Mayfield threw as many touchdowns on the Panthers than Kenny Pickett did all year.
All you guys care about is touchdowns. Sometimes it's about game management and winning football games. That's what Kenny Pickett did.
But then
The
Brock
streak
Purdy's
lives
better.
on.
Then Brock Purdy's better.
Yeah, if it's all about winning football games, Brock Purdy hasn't lost yet.
I don't think Brock Purdy's winning the football games. I think Kenny Pickett's winning the football games.
Is
I
Kenny
think
Pickett-
Brock Purdy is literally handing the ball off and letting defense win the
Well,
football
let me flip this. Is Kenny Pickett losing those football games?
Probably
Yeah,
not.
Hold on. The last one he didn't because Deontay Johnson had a fumble in that game, and Najee Harris had a fumble on the goal line in that game. Because I was actually watching it a little bit, and that was just
Okay, that's one game.
I don't know about the other.
We can't say Brock Purdy didn't. Like,
because they can make because when they stop letting the kid throw the ball and they only let him throw 12 times a game, the Steelers had a chance at winning 16-13 every week. Because when you actually let him be a quarterback, he turned it
Brock
over and
Purdy
lost.
was averaging more points. Like, I don't understand the argument.
I don't know. I think if you switch both those guys, like
He doesn't
I don't know.
throw
7-2 post
I
bye.
think the average is less than
Okay,
20
Brock
times a
Purdy
game.
didn't have a loss, so that's great. He was 7-2, but
That's
mean,
not great. I wouldn't say.
Izzy, that is definitely you.
they don't have a future. I'm not even gonna argue, Derpy. I'm with you.
If that was Izzy, he's literally telling Cody to be quiet, and Cody and him are on the same side of the argument, so it makes no sense.
No,
I'm
this
so
is his
confused.
cover up. It's his cover up.
Nah, man.
You can't make
I
it
got a better
obvious.
one for you. I bet you, as someone who lived in Pennsylvania, if Kenny Pickett, never mind, not saying that. Never mind, not going there.
But you
I'm
got
just
you
gonna say
got
all
him now.
4 people
Now you
on
have-
the stream have something in common that helps Kenny Pickett in Pennsylvania.
Are you claiming that because he's white, he is popular in PA?
If he didn't go to Pitt and he wasn't, y'all would be like, he sucks. Get him out of there.
I don't think so. I thought Malik should have played him. Malik had worse numbers than Kenny Pickett, and I still think Malik should have been the quarterback over
If your
Josh
team sucks and
Dobbs.
You're trying to rebuild. Of course, you want the young guy to play.
Josh Dobbs is technically the rebuild, and I didn't want him out there.
All I know is Kenny Pickett did enough this year to have Izzy smash an egg over his head. That's all I care
He didn't do
about.
anything.
That
Because
I can't argue with that one.
the moment that Trubisky had to come in and save him one game, the fans turned on him. Because he went to Pitt, and everyone was like, oh, he's from Pitt. He's a local guy. I learned that when I went out to Pittsburgh. Can't say anything bad about Kenny INT Pickett because holy shit.
You can't. He's like a true homer, kind of like
I
Greg.
mean, Mac Jones rookie year, 3,600 yards, 22 touchdowns, 8 picks. Kenny Pickett's rookie year, 2,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, 9 picks.
Because
No
Trubisky
one's
started the
talking-
season. He screwed him
Nobody was
over.
talking bad on Mac Jones this year. I think you were. You were the one that said put Zappy in. You were the one that was talking shit on Mac Jones.
You gotta ride the America sometimes.
Oh,
Fuck,
Jesus.
boys. Okay. Well, I didn't say Brock Purdy was bad. I said I would take Kenny Pickett over Brock Purdy. I gave
Kenny
Brock
Pickett.
Purdy my winner of the week, week 1 or week 2, whenever he was back in there when him and Brock White both went off. Right. Not White. Right. So, any other takes on that? That was pretty heated. Anyone want to keep going?
It's
No,
entertaining.
it's fine. We'll let his career play out. I mean, I don't know how you could do better with an all-star running back.
I wonder if Brock Purdy is going to be the starter for the 49ers for years to come, or if he's just going to go back to the bench, or
He
I'm
should
curious.
be. He should.
It's
be.
if he comes out and makes a deep run in the playoffs, I'm curious to see if what the
I'm already
Niners
telling
do.
you.
Oh, Greg, that's just because Shanahan's calling good plays. It's not him. Even if they make a deep run,
Jimmy
Don't
G went to a Super Bowl in 3 straight
See,
NFC
you know what the
championship
thing
games,
is?
and he
Yeah.
was still benched.
You know what the thing is, Cody, is that
It's the coach.
Shanahan, who's never won a Super Bowl, is calling better plays than Mike Tomlin, who's won one. And then Mike Tomlin's just not doing a good enough job.
Jesus.
Well, hold on.
Who's never had a losing season in the NFL. It was like Tomlin's fault. Kenny Pickett threw 6 touchdowns.
Tomlin won a ring with Cowher's team. I have said that my whole life. He has done a great job of not having a losing record, for sure, but he won a Super Bowl with Cowher's team.
Yeah, I mean, Tomlin's system that took Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph to the playoffs. Not a good system.
Big Ben was the GOAT. That's why they kept winning.
Yeah, the shell of Ben Roethlisberger made it to the playoffs.
All right, next subject.
Well, that was fun. Well, we were going to get into playoff predictions. So, did anybody fill out the bracket, or we just want to do it one game?
Let's just raw dog it. It's Niners all the way.
All right, first game I can think of will be Jags versus.
No, the Niners and Seahawks is the first game on Saturday, 4:30.
No, I was going AFC just off the top of my head, but if you want to go with the first game on Saturday, we could do that.
I thought, are we doing week by week, or are we doing the whole bracket, or what are we doing?
We'll just
do the whole bracket. We got half an hour to go and nothing else to talk about.
Okay.
Chargers. I'm sure the Kenny Pickett talk we can go.
Guys, I don't know why you're hating on Pickett.
Because he's overrated and he sucks.
He almost made the playoffs. So almost made the playoffs.
Okay, so did Aaron Rodgers.
Hey, Kenny Pickett.
Aaron Rodgers almost made the playoffs, and he sucks.
Yeah, but Rodgers isn't a rookie anymore. Like, he had his time. He's washed now. He only scored 16 points in a game that was a must-win.
I mean that just bolsters my rookie argument that rookies get a little special treatment.
Well, I think they should. I mean, the NFL is a completely different ballgame.
I mean, I get it, but we'll just see. I mean, he's got a whole career ahead of him. All I know is Brock Osweiler was supposed to be the next big thing, and we know what happened there.
Should Cody, do you want to make a bet on a Brock Purdy, Kenny Pickett for next season?
What's the bet? Let me hear it.
I don't know, whatever you want. I'm obviously going to take Pickett, and you're going to take Purdy. But I'm pretty sure that Trey Lance is coming back, and he's going to take that team over.
We can iron out some details, which is a stupid idea in my opinion, but yeah, we can iron out some details.
A whole Hall of Fame career ahead of him.
Yeah.
Who's that? Pickett?
Yep.
All right.
So we'll figure one out, and then we'll bring it up next time, and we'll talk Purdy and we'll talk Pickett bets. Maybe another egg, since this guy's never going to do it. But
I'm more impressed with Eli Manning than I ever would be Kenny Pickett.
You're letting like a few games dictate your personal opinion. You hated Kenny Pickett before he was drafted. Like, he was drafted, and you were like, "It's fucking terrible. Why would anybody take one of these QBs in the first round?" You are going to hate Kenny Pickett no matter what. I
stick to my opinion. They suck. Like, I was right about Justin Fields. Everyone thought he sucked. It's to give him some time. Justin Fields is now. Everyone's like, "Oh, I love Justin Fields." Yeah, where were you? Where were you? I remember.
Do you?
I don't remember that.
You got a little flip-flop.
Arm remembers.
All right. Let's get into the games. If anybody at home wants to put a would you rather up there, some fun other conversation thrown in there. We got, 24 more minutes, and we're just going to talk about random shit.
Chargers Jags. Who you got, Greg?
You missed the Seahawks Niners. I was the Chargers Jags.
I would go Seahawks Niners. Wow, hard one. Niners.
Niners next.
Yeah. Wait, it's a rivalry game, a division game. Greg, who you got?
Geno Smith could get hot. You don't know that. DK Metcalf could have a monster game. Nah, Niners win.
Yeah, Niners. Okay. Chargers Jags.
I think it's hard.
Yeah. Oh boy. I'm actually going to go Jags on this one. And the only reason is I'm leaving it up to the coaching.
The Jaguars are the hottest team in football right now. They have been very, very good over the last 7 games. So
yeah, they played really well last week.
I go 3 ways. Originally I want to go Jaguars, but the last game against the Titans, they didn't impress me because they couldn't get it done when it mattered. Then I'm like, I hate the Chargers head coach because he's an idiot. Because he doesn't know how to play anything safe, and he just gambles away their winning chances. And then thirdly, I go back to the fact that It's the Chargers and the Jaguars, and they both have histories of fucking it up. So I'm probably going to go Stanley makes a stupid call, costs the Chargers the game, and they go for it like 4th and 2 when their own 40 late in the game. Jags win by field goal.
All right,
Or by 6 points.
You guys think the Jags pull it off, or do you think Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, and that offense scores enough to get it done?
I'm going to go Jaguars. Only because I'm not a big fan of Staley either. Peterson's been there. Apologize for that. Peterson's been there. I think he'll be able to outcoach Staley in this one. Jaguars, even though they had a bad week last week, I think they'll bounce back. So I think the Jaguars are the team that's going to score enough to move on.
All right, Greg, who you got?
I can't see the Chargers choking away another opportunity in the playoffs. I think Herbert, if he wants to be like in the upper echelon of quarterbacks and wants to stay relevant, he needs to come in and have a big game. Staley, I think he's on hot seat. If he comes out and he costs the Chargers this game, I think he's getting fired. And Chargers are going to move on from him and bring in a new head coach. All that being said, I think the Chargers, they're going to light a fire under their ass, and they're going to come out and win this game.
I bet you if you put Herbert on the Chiefs, they'd be a better team. What?
Buki says, "Yo, my bad. I'm late. Just got home. But what's good? What's up, Buki? You missed a lot of heated discussion in the first half hour, man. So make sure you go back and watch it. And it was very entertaining. But
I'm telling you right now. I mean, I'm just saying.
We got a lot going on.
I'm not trying to be a troll. I'm just saying that if Justin Herbert had Andy Reid, might be better than Mahomes.
We're just going to let that one sit out there for a little bit. We're going to put a pin in that. We're just going to put a pin in it and come back. So the way I'm going to do this bracket that we got going on here, I'm just going to go by consensus with you three. So we got 2 for the Jags, 1 for the Chargers. So we're going to put the Jags into the next round.
Well, what do you think, Pat? I care about your opinion too, except when it comes to Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett's better than Brock Purdy. I don't care what you say. Anyway, I think the Jags are going to do it just because of what Izzy said. I think Staley's going to fuck up at the end of the game. He's going to go for it, or he's going to do something dumb. And the Jaguars right now are just hot, and I think Doug Peterson's a better coach. So I'm going to go with the Jags. But I would not be surprised if the Chargers win by 14 because the Jags did not look good against the Titans last week.
I'll be putting some money on the Chargers. I'm feeling pretty confident in them. And if they don't make it, then that's fine. Then you just got to play the Jags in the next round.
Bro, can you shave your beard if the Jaguars win?
The Jaguars win?
Yeah, the Jags win. You got to shave.
I already told you I'm going to shave it in like a week or two. So it's I don't like having it. Too itchy.
Buki says the Jags will lose. Buki's very similar to Greg. He's a very homer for the AFC South. So he loves his Titans and he hates everybody else. So the Jags could be the number 1 seed. I bet he would pick them to lose. It's okay, Buki. I understand. We got Dolphins at Bills as the next game. Bills are actually favored by 10. And Tua is not playing. So what do we got?
Yeah, I mean, Bills at home, I think this is an easy pick. Skylar Thompson was barely able to beat the Joe Flacco-led Jets last week to barely just itch into the playoffs there. So I think the Bills take this one pretty easily.
Does anyone want to – we can just skip over. Does anybody want to pick the Dolphins?
Is it going to be the Heineke situation against the Bucs? I'm just joking.
Eric Hill's talking a lot of shit. He's like, the Bills' hammies better be ready or whatever. That's what he was saying. So
no, it's definitely Bills. We're just going to move on.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite games of the weekend. So let's see. I wonder if
they're going to wheel that guy out there like this for the playoff game. And he's like they're going to win by like it's going to be like 65-7.
What we should do is we should create an all injured team this year with some of the worst injuries and put them on there. 2 is definitely QB for sure. 3 concussions in a season is terrible. But anyway, we got Giants at Vikings, the number 6 seed Giants, the number 3 seed Vikings, and the Vikings are favored by 3. I think this is going to be a really interesting football game. So, Izzy, take
Vikings at 3, close game. Giants keep it close defensively. But I think Justin Jefferson will pull something out late in the game on some I think Kirk will just throw it up and Jefferson will bring one down. And I think the Vikings have played decent enough all year long. So Vikings, but I think it's gonna be closer than people think. Well, I mean Vegas is thinking it's gonna be close, but it's gonna be
Greg?
close.
Did you say me?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I think the game's gonna be close. I still think the Vikings are very overrated. Like, I think Giants are gonna keep it close enough and then do something at the end to pull it out.
All right. So we got 1 Giants, 1 Vikings. Cody, you are the deciding factor. Buki, to answer your question, it's at 4:30 on Sunday. So it's the
Man,
afternoon
all
game.
the pressure on me to be deciding factor, but I actually think I'm going to have to side with Greg on this one. I think this is going to be one of there's always those upset games, and I think this is going to be the one. It's hard to trust Kirk in the playoffs, and that offense the past couple weeks hasn't looked great. I think the Giants are going to keep it close enough, win on last second field goal or something.
I agree with you.
All right. That's
Kirk
it.
Cousins
Time to argue.
about primetime Cousins.
Are we really gonna take Daniel fucking Jones in the playoffs? Like, if the Vikings shut down the Giants' run game, the game's over before we even get into it.
So I'm going to side with Izzy here. I think the Vikings win, but I think it's by a field goal at the end of the game.
It's gonna be close.
But I think Brian Dable has this Giants team very, very ready. So I think it's going to be a really good game. I think
he's going to do enough to make it so that Danny Dimes doesn't feel that pressure in the game. And I think he's going to manage it where he's not going to have him do way too much to where he would make those typical mistakes. Probably like dial it back, mix in a few good plays here and there. And then defensively, I think the Giants are going to focus in on Jefferson and Cook and slow down the Vikings, make Kirk throw the ball, be more aggressive. And I think that's where Kirk's going to go.
Yeah, the Giants have been really good all year about keeping the opponent's offense off the field. And, that's going to be a big key of beating this Vikings team because obviously that's the most dangerous part of that team. So I actually think this game is going to be quite low scoring, like 27-24 or something like that. Maybe not even.
Cool. All right. So this game, Ravens at Bengals. Bengals won twice this season. They beat them. No, they won 1-1. They split because the Ravens beat them the first time. And if the Ravens beat them again, that's when they were going to have to do the coin flip. So they split 1-1. Who do you guys got? Cody, go ahead and take it. This is a big game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think Lamar's going to be back for this game. So I think we're going to see almost the same game we saw last week. I think the Bengals go up early and just keep the lead, and it won't necessarily be a close one.
The Bengals are – Joe Burrow is playing out of his mind right now. Izzy, you look like you're having a wonderful time. Why don't you tell us about your opinion?
I was actually looking to see Lamar's health status.
I think he's
Lamar
out.
and Huntley are both probably going to be out in this game from what I've read so far.
Yeah, I just read that they said that he's missed practice again. If Lamar plays, even though he hasn't played in forever, I'm taking the Ravens. But I think that Baltimore, if Lamar's healthy, is a better team than Cincinnati. And I think that they would pull it out. But otherwise, if it's a third-string quarterback versus Joe Burrow in Cincinnati, wow, hard pick. Go Greg.
I mean, Bengals are probably one of the hottest teams right now. So
We just talked about how Greg was right and the playoffs suck. Like, this first round is awful. It's a waste of time.
I mean, Bengals are going to win this game, and then you're going to have the Bengals at Bills matchup, which is going to be an amazing game next week. So
Yeah, because you got to buy it, don't deserve.
I've already penciled that in, and I'm looking forward to it.
It's amazing when you get to skip the 2 hard teams and you get to go right to the 4th soft team.
Craig's like, we wait on this earlier. He's like, I don't want to get into it.
Yeah, I'm just like, I mean, yeah. Win more games? I don't know.
Final game of Wild Card Weekend. Cowboys, the number 5 seed at the Bucks. Cowboys are favored by 3. So, Izzy, you live in Tampa.
Go ahead.
Do you think Brady has one more win in him? Does he have one more run? That is Buki's upset this week.
I gotta agree with my homie here because I saw an interesting thing that the Cowboys have never won a playoff game wearing their blues. And they're wearing the blues. So I'm gonna go with the jerseys as my pick. I think both teams are god awful deep down. I think the Cowboys are a waiting choke job, and the Bucs can't get it together this year. But Tom Brady at home in the playoffs, magic.
Brady's 7-0 against them.
35 to 30 or something weird. 35 to 31 Bucks.
All right, Cody.
Jack first.
I'm going Bucks here too, mainly because Brady last week in the offense as a whole, or not last week, the week before. Mike Evans had the 200-yard 3-touchdown game. That offense looked really good. Brady got to get a little rest this past week, which is only going to help him. And Dak's just been turning the ball over way too much lately that I could confidently say the Cowboys will win. So I'm taking the Bucks, and I don't think it's really. I'll go probably something like Gizzy. I'll probably go like 34-27.
It's kind of odd that Dak Prescott has missed games this year, and he has the most interceptions in the NFL.
Yeah, it's a record or something they said.
It's kind of crazy because he's turned the ball over in the past, but not this much. Greg, does your opinion differ? Do you think it's going to be the boys?
Actually, I have no idea who I want to pick for this game. I was leaning Cowboys, and then the Bucs' run defense is pretty good, and the Cowboys rely on the run so much. And Dak has not been frugal with the ball in his decision making. So, Bucs at home, Brady. I don't think the Bucs are that good, but I think they're going to do just enough to win this game.
So I just want to say, guys, we're really fucking exciting. We only picked one wild card team to win this weekend. That was the Giants over the Vikings. We pretty much won with all of the higher seeds. So right now, our playoff went down as Chiefs versus Jags, Bills versus Bengals, Eagles versus Giants, Niners versus Bucks. So you guys want to do the divisional round? While we're sitting here?
Giants, I like that.
So first game, we'll let our Chiefs fan go first.
We're
going Chiefs Jags. Unless everyone thinks it's Chiefs.
I'd be ecstatic if the Jags play. I picked the Chargers, but I'd be ecstatic if the Jags played the Chiefs in the playoffs because they'd match up better against the Jags than the Chargers. Chargers always give them difficulty. So, I'd like the Chiefs to beat the Jags pretty easily. So,
does anyone have an argument for the Jags, or we can just skip this game?
I don't even know why we bother. There's no conveniency in getting a 1 seed. Next.
All right. Our next game will be Eagles at Giants. Big game. It's a rivalry game. Never know with rivalry games in the playoffs. So who lives in – Cody, you live near Philly. You go ahead. Who you got?
I do live near Philly.
Greg lives closer to Philly.
Greg lives closer to Philly?
What's that?
I wasn't sure where Greg exactly lived. I thought is it near Jersey?
I'm probably like an hour and a half away from Philly.
Oh, he's closer to Philly than I am.
Well, Greg, you can go first.
Eagles, bro. Let's move on. 35-10 Eagles.
I actually, you know what? If the Giants win the first game, I like them to win the second game against the Eagles. I don't know, divisional matchups.
So I'm gonna agree with Greg, and it's only because I gotta stand by my statement. I said all season that they lose the first playoff game. Give me the Giants as well.
This is ridiculous. There's no way the Eagles are losing. It's gonna be Eagles-Niners in the finals. Why are we wasting our time?
Wow.
Well,
Giants rested their starters last week and only lost a touchdown.
They suck. They literally suck. They won 9 games, tied a game. They just barely squeaked in the playoffs. They're starting 6-2.
Well, consensus has it, Izzy. You can debate it if you want, but they're moving on in our bracket.
I was going to go next time anti.
But, in Cody's fairness, Cody did say the Eagles would lose in the first round that they played in the playoffs.
I just have to stand by it. I can't go against it. So
Bro, I hope A.J. Brown drops 3 touchdowns against the Giants.
Drops them?
I hope the Giants win the first game.
So okay. So we got the Giants moving on. That's interesting. The game that we're all waiting for, Bills-Bengals, a rematch of the DeMar Hamlin near-death experience. He's doing really well. And there's some people at UC, and he's doing pretty good. Izzy, go ahead. Since you think the Bills got rigged, they should have been the number 1 seed, and they should have been playing the Bengals this week.
Chiefs versus Bengals would have been, worrisome for Greg, but instead Buffalo's got it. Chiefs Bengals in Buffalo. Is that how it works, or are they all coin flips now, or neutral games now?
No, it'll be Bengals at the Bills because the Bills have one more loss or one less loss.
I would take. I'll do Buffalo in the playoffs. I think they're going to go to a different gear. I mean, the one thing about Buffalo, I think that they have over Cincinnati is that they have that extra. I don't know. I know Burrow's the man, but Josh Allen's ability, they gave him against the Patriots, fading backwards and just airing it out fucking 55, 60 yards to Stephon Diggs on a full sprint, and he just barely gets there and catches in the end zone. And there's a touchdown Gabe Davis dropped in the end zone. I mean, Buffalo's superior.
It's hard to compete with Josh Allen's arm strength. He can put the same with Mahomes. They can put the ball anywhere they want, falling backwards. So that's a huge factor.
I mean, Burrow's not much better of not turning the ball over. He has moments where he goes on runs where he doesn't turn the ball over, and then he has moments where he goes on these little turnover spells. So I mean, Allen's worse, but Burrow's not no Aaron Rodgers or Brady, where they've kind of protected a lot more.
Okay. Cody, Bills, Bengals.
Yeah, I'll agree with Izzy on this one. Buffalo in Buffalo. I think this game will be a shootout, but I think Buffalo's going to do enough to get it done. Yeah, I mean, that's really all I got to say there.
Greg, same pick, different pick.
I think the Bengals would have beaten them the couple weeks ago. I think they're going to beat them this time. Bills got lucky against the Patriots. They ran back 2 touchdowns based off the NFL script. They did not look that good in that game. Bengals have been red hot. Burrow's been slinging it. It looks like they were going to put up 40 points against the Bills in the last matchup. Bills have had some injuries in their secondary. I like the Bengals to win.
I like the Bengals too, actually. So I'm going to take the Bengals myself, but cut myself off. All right, 49ers, Bucks. Does anybody think Tom Brady has it in him to win the divisional round? That 49ers team is really good.
Brock Purdy, baby.
You know what? I actually like the Bucks.
Kind of save time. It's gonna be Chiefs Niners. It's a repeat of the last one. Average Niners quarterback versus the Chiefs. Niners will get up.
But this average quarterback gets it done.
No, Chiefs win.
I was gonna say I picked the Bucks to beat the Niners.
Pat.
So, but I don't know.
If Brock Purdy wins the Super Bowl, you have to get my name tattooed on you.
No, that's
I'll pay for it.
That's not a work. No.
If he wins it, maybe if he wins it next year, that's fine.
All right.
But not this year. That team's too good this year. I'm not going to take that bet. They could win that game without a quarterback. Debo could play quarterback, and they could win the Super Bowl this year.
Straight Wildcat. Could you imagine them just doing that for the Super Bowl, like McCaffrey?
I need someone to look up how the Niners played this year with Jimmy G, as compared to Brock Purdy.
Successful. They were good all year round.
They weren't 6-0.
No, they had a lot of injuries in the beginning of the year.
Once they got McCaffrey,
Brock Purdy hasn't played with Deebo Samuel, or he may have played a game or two with Deebo Samuel.
Yeah, but he's had Christian McCaffrey.
So did Jimmy G.
And Jimmy G put up good numbers with McCaffrey. It's not like the Niners sneaked in. They were playing for the 1 seed. Like they had a chance to get the 1 seed in the NFL. They were a good team all year.
Maybe because Brock Purdy led them to a 6-0 record. I don't know, man. Just saying.
I'm not saying Brock Purdy's bad. But this whole offense is built for a mediocre quarterback to have success. All right. So Izzy's saying Chiefs beat the Bills. Do you guys differ on that? I know Greg's going Chiefs as well, so we're going to move them into the finals. But Cody,
I was going to have the Bengals over the Chiefs, but
you're going to have Bengals over the Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs.
I was actually. I'll take Bills over Chiefs.
The script is this. The script, NFL writers. It's going to be in LA. Pack that stadium. They need to keep packing that stadium because they have no fans. It's going to be in LA unless the Chargers advance. It's going to be, what should be in LA anyway? It's going to be Chiefs, Bills. DeMar Hamlin's going to be out on the 50-yard line, flipping the coin.
Tiny Tim.
Championship game. Neutral site. Telling you. Goodell's probably going to get me assassinated tomorrow because I just called out their script. But that's
I mean, it makes sense. When the 9/11 happened, the Patriots won the Super Bowl. DeMar Hamlin just died on the field, so you know the Bills are probably going to go all the way. That's how I would bet it. It's a series, the NFL right now, and they can have a lot of money behind that. So
it's never. They're not a. It's not
NFL. Did you guys know the NFL isn't listed as a sports agency? They're listed as an entertainment business.
Industry.
So they could rig a game if they wanted to. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing illegal about it.
I think they influence the games, definitely. Like, I think they can tell refs to, like, call games aggressive, not aggressive. Like, I think they can do, like, a bunch of shit to, like, influence games.
I don't think they
fix them, but
an eye-opening documentary on Netflix, Untold Stories, Flagrant Foul, the Bill Donovan, or whatever his name was, the referee of the NBA. He goes into depth about how NBA referees would influence games, and then he would give tips to the mob for betting to make the mob money. Like, Allen Iverson ran his mouth about some refs, so they would call his flip as a travel. And they knew, so he knew the one, or if he knew certain refs didn't like certain players, that they would ticky-tack call that player. So he'd tell the mob to bet those games. So he's like,
is that the Tim Donaghy guy or whatever you're talking about?
Yep.
Yeah.
So he went. It's really eye-opening because he literally like kind of goes in depth about how it wasn't rigged, but he knew when certain calls or certain players were going to get put into foul trouble, or other refs were going to, not like someone. I think it's, same thing in the NFL has to be.
Oh, for sure.
Carl Sheffers and the Chiefs. Prime example right there.
What's his name? Is it Quay Walker? Is that who pushed the AT?
Yeah.
He's not getting another call the rest of his life.
No.
Ever. You don't put your hands on somebody just trying to do their job on an injured player. Yeah, he's never getting another call. And he's going to be on Cody's team for a long time, so we can laugh about that.
Yeah.
All right, who's your guys' Super Bowl picks before we finish?
I already did mine.
You did yours. You're going Chiefs. Greg.
So we have Chiefs and Niners then? That's what we decided on?
That's what we decided on, but you can just pick your own too if you want.
I mean, if we're going, I'm going to go, if we have the Chiefs and Niners, I'll go Chiefs over Niners. But if I have the Bengals, I'd go Bengals over, I guess I would have the Bucks then. Bengals over Bucks.
Okay. I hope Tom Brady makes it back. Cody, who you got?
Niners over Bills. Just to be that bastard.
I would like a Niners and Bills Super Bowl, though. As like a non-partisan fan, I think it'd be a good Super Bowl.
I would like to see the Eagles with a fully healthy Jalen Hurts out there because they might have the most talented roster in the NFL. And I'd like to see them play the Bills.
I want to see Chiefs Eagles just because Andy Reid against Philly. Like, I think that'd be pretty cool. But
and
then like the New Heights podcast too, like having Jason and Travis like going at it that week, that'd be hilarious.
The NFL couldn't write that script any better either.
Yeah,
so that could be a big possibility.
Or one that I actually like would be Buffalo versus Minnesota. Two big, dedicated, huge fan bases. Both have been always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
I would like to see that because they're both 0-4 in Super Bowls. So
yes.
Someone's finally getting their first one.
Yeah, like one of the teams would finally, like their fan base would finally get a ring. No matter who that night happened, like most fans would be like, that's cool. Like their fan base got a ring championship.
Cincinnati doesn't have a Super Bowl yet either, right?
No.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see Buffalo or Cincy get one.
Chargers, Jags, Cincinnati, Buffalo,
Vikings, Titans, Falcons, Panthers, Browns.
There's 4 teams in the AFC that haven't won a Super Bowl yet. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, so
Texans, Jaguars.
I mean, if you have Patrick Mahomes, though, you get guaranteed the 1 seed.
All right, guys, this has been fun. But I was
amazing what ratings can do for you.
Super early. You guys can continue talking if you like, but I'm going to be signing off. So
no, there's no.
We all good to go? Anything else you want to say?
No.
See how it plays out.
Everybody at home, thank you for watching the Check Down podcast.
Who's the one guy? McKinnon? No, what's the one guy? Who's number 10? The new number 10. Chiefs.
Pacheco?
23-yard screen pass. Pacheco wins Super Bowl. Kansas City.
Okay.
And then Mahomes gets it.